60 missions in Korea.
I flew 52 missions in Korea.
I flew 52 missions in Korea. How's that?
What?
Sparks fly between a marketing executive and a NASA official as he makes preparations for the Apollo 11 moon landing. Fly Me to the Moon is directed by Greg Berlanti. You know, a lot of people might not know him because he's not a big film director guy. He mostly started out and continues to, write and produce many DC shows such as The Flash, Supergirl, Arrow, Superman and Lois, and Netflix's You. So he did a lot of TV. He also directed, one medium-sized film, which was Love, Simon, which is one that I watched for the first time last year, and I really thought that was a special film. Actually made me really emotional. I really enjoyed that film a lot. Check that film out if you haven't. I think it's on Hulu. But Fly Me to the Moon is like his second major film, and I gotta say, I think he did a pretty good job on this one. I thought his direction was pretty good on this one. I thought his direction was really good on Love, Simon. So I'm hoping that he does another film after this. I know he's big in TV and all that, big writer in TV. I don't think he wrote this one. I think the writing on this movie actually was great. I don't know who the writer was, but I really did enjoy the script here. But also, don't be fooled, because this is not a true story. I mean, I guess you could say it's loosely based, because all the Apollo stuff is basically real in here, but it's mixed with the moon landing hoax and conspiracy theories that everyone, has made up in the many decades that have followed the moon landing, because for some reason, no one believes the moon landing. No one believed it happened. I don't know why. How can you not believe it happened? It's literally the moon landing. We're still going to the moon to this day. We're still trying to go to other planets to this day. I do got to say, this movie has one of my favorite lines of the year. Scarlett Johansson says it. She says, "A truth is a truth, even if everyone forgets it or doesn't believe it." And she says, "A lie is a lie, even if everyone believes it." I thought that's a really great line, a really special line, because it's a true line. Sometimes a lie happens and everyone believes it, but we all know down below it's still a big lie. I was really kind of interested in this movie before the trailers came out, because hearing that's kind of science fiction about space and all that, I'm actually really interested in space. I love science fiction movies. It's like my favorite genre, I'd say. Interstellar is my second favorite movie of all time. You got Dune up there too as like my favorite movie of all time. I just love science fiction. I love movies about space. I love just seeing, rockets, spaceships and all that. I think it's just really cool how we're going to space and all that. But I will say, when the trailer came out and I watched it, I was like, I do not like this. I did not like the trailer at all. But, I will say this one surprised me, just like Horizon did last week. I really enjoyed this one a lot. I will say it's nothing perfect, it's nothing great, but I will say it's a good time in the theater. And I feel like the trailers don't sell as how much fun it really is. And it kind of is like A Quiet Place Day One from last week too, because there was a cat in this one, but this one is black. It's kind of like a great kind of thing in the movie where Channing Tatum sees the black cat and he's like, "Get this cat out of here, it's bad luck," because the mojo about the black cats, they're bad luck. So that's a little funny gag around it. But I will say this one surprised me just like Horizon. I thought it was pretty good. My main negatives, though, are that it's too long. I think it comes in around 2 hours and 15 minutes, including credits. And I will say it struggled to keep me really engaged in that back half, the second half. I mean, I was still engaged, but not as engaged as I was in the first half. The second half is filled with like showing the moon landing, showing the real moon landing with the fake moon landing. I felt like, that stuff was hard to keep me engaged because we've seen the moon landing in a movie so many times by now. Like, the moon landing kind of has gotten old in movies since we've seen it so much. And I will say the lighting kind of felt off in some sections. It seemed like they tried to go for really low lighting in some scenes where I couldn't really see anything, or maybe it was just my theater that had like really messed up screens at that point. I don't know. It didn't make any sense, but I will say some of the lighting was off. But I will say some positives now is that the score by Daniel Pemberton is really nice. That's really memorable score from the year, and I feel like he always does a great job with any films that he does. Let's talk about the cast. You have the two main stars here with Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum. I feel like they both give great performances, and I also feel like they both have great chemistry. They play off each other very well. I cannot wait to see what Scarlett Johansson does in the next Jurassic World movie. I think that she's going to really nail that one. I thought she nailed the humor in this one. I thought her little opening sequence was nice. Channing Tatum, he's kind of like on the comeback right now because he had The Lost City in 2022. Magic Mike's Last Dance last year, which some people didn't like. I thought it was decent. I think it did pretty well at the box office though. He has this, then he has Blink Twice later this year, which actually looks really good. And then he's rumored to show up in Deadpool and Wolverine as Gambit. Who knows if he does, but that would be really exciting. But I'm really happy for Channing Tatum. He's really on the comeback right here. And I will say, he was talking about 23 Jump Street in an interview. I'm like, please, please, please make that. Please, Hollywood, give us 23 Jump Street. Just give us that last one, please. We need it. But I thought they both did great. Woody Harrelson also has a small role. I think that he did pretty great as like the bad guy. Ray Romano, I thought he gave a pretty good supporting performance alongside Jim Rash, which I feel like provided a lot of comedic relief for the movie. The production design was also a big win for this one because you're making a movie during the 60s. You have to make it look authentic and pretty colorful because people in the 60s wore a lot of colors. And I think that it did both of those really well. So overall, Fly Me to the Moon was another big surprise this year and, starts off July at a very high note because I really enjoyed it. It's not a masterpiece. Like, it's not, I'm not like going to say it's a really great movie, top 10 in the year, but I will say it lands in like that top 20, top 25 out of like the 80 I've seen because I really enjoyed it. I felt like Scarlett Johansson, Channing Tatum gave great performances, had great chemistry, really enjoyed the script, thought it was very funny. Production design and score were really some strong words for the film. Even though it was a bit too long, I'll still give it a 7 out of 10 because I enjoyed it a decent bit. I feel like this one will do pretty well on digital. I probably won't go see it again in theaters, but I will say I will check it out again once it hits streaming. But that's my thoughts on Fly Me to the Moon. Leave your own thoughts down below in the comments. If you did enjoy my review though, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.